billion people globally in the affected areas. Land degradation correlates closely with extreme poverty, increased water scarcity, food insecurity, and child mortality. In addition, there's global shortage of good quality soil, which will bring about the desired increase in food production. Again, available data show that lands inherently of inherent high quality, that is class 1 soils, are uncommon globally. Such lands occupy about 2.38% of the global land surface. On the other hand, lands with poor quality, soils, low moisture, low organic matter, low plant nutrients, poor physical properties, and so on, occupy 43% of the global land surface. It's a pity. Okay. You cannot see those things very well. Thus, land resources that can be adjudged classes 1 to 4 for agriculture, that is crop production, occupy only about 15% of the global land surface. The situation is not much different in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. However, while most other nations of the world give priority attention to their soils, Nigeria is yet to realize this. Perhaps this workshop is an indication that the situation is changing or has changed. In 1996, I was in Ghana. I was in University of Ghana, Legon, for 1 year on sabbatical. And I was teaching pedology to both undergraduates and postgraduates. And I was shocked that the small Ghana had national soil map, and they had maps of suitability of their soils. And before that, even in the 70s, where I went to study, I studied in the University of Oxford. I worked with 10 farmers, and each farmer was able to locate the soil, all the soils on his farm. And they were reporting this. As anything happens, they will say, this is where I work. They were giving it to agric experts. And in addition to that, I still worked on some research on these soils to show to us that what we are doing today will affect generations to come. Land with soils that can be adjudged fit, that is, sorry, the next paragraph. The first time that serious consideration was given to the importance of soils in Nigeria was in 1951. And we have had that already. And I think I may be able to jump that paragraph. I move to the next paragraph. One major negative consequence of the neglect of soil resources is that at the moment, Nigeria does not have a national soil classification system. This is a clear indication that the importance of soil resources in agricultural production has not yet been appreciated by policymakers. It was in 1990, as we have said, as we have heard, that FDALR, as it was called then, with the assistance of the United States of America, Department of Agriculture. I'm sorry, all these gadgets are disturbing me. They are not allowing me to display my paper. I don't know what you want to do to them. Yes, I can't display my paper very well. I'm sorry. Yes, I was saying it was in 1990, FDALR, with the assistance of USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, produced the reconnaissance soil map that we are using as the mapping unit, the subgroup of the soil taxonomy. That's their own soil classification system. This map has not achieved much. Due to the very broad units of mapping research workers here, which I believe is true, that the plan was to follow that with a detailed soil survey or soil mapping, which was never done. The major characteristics of the two most extensive soils, alkali soils and alkali soils that cover about 65% of our soils, is that their clay mineralogy is dominated by what we call low activity clay soils. They are dominated by low activity clay, which lack the ability to hold nutrients because of the low CEC. Hence, they are easily leached. Their nutrient reserve is low. Thus, organic matter, which is the most major property that has the ability to hold nutrients, should be very high if the clay mineralogy is low. But in Nigeria, as we know, the organic matter content of our soil is very low, particularly in the savanna areas, and the rate of mineralization is very high because of solar radiation. Food security. Crop production on fragile and highly degraded soils results in poor yield and consequently food insecurity. The World Food Summit of 1996 defined food security as existing when all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe, nutritious food to maintain a healthy and active life. Of the 39 countries worldwide, that 2003, 25 are found in Africa to be responsible for the low quality, apart from degradation and soil management. Pillars of food security. Some people call it dimensions of food security. From the definition we have given to food security, we know these four are very crucial. Food availability, that is sufficient quantities of food available on a consistent basis. Food access, having sufficient resources to obtain appropriate food. Food quality and use, appropriate in terms of basic nutrients and care. Stability, assurance that people will have access to food at all times, including crisis time. And vertically, the priority issues listed as the first three Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by the UN, and namely, no poverty, zero hunger, good health. They are the core measurable issues that will satisfy food security, and the absence of which defines insecurity. Food security in Nigeria. Among the developmental challenges facing Nigeria, food security ranks above the topmost. The percentage of food insecure households in Nigeria was reported to be 18% in 1986, over 40% in 2005. Figures released by FAO in 2005 on the state of food insecurity in the world indicated that 9% of the Nigerian population was chronically undernourished. Between 2000 and 2002, in those years, Nigeria has the highest number of people living in extreme poverty globally. The Global Food Security Index, GFSI, ranking of Nigeria has been unabatingly on the increase since 2013. It ranked 94th among 130 countries in the world and 43 among 52 countries in Africa in 2019. The challenges Nigeria is facing are enormous, ranging from food insecurity, especially in the northeastern and north central states, where conflicts or insurgency, kidnapping, armed banditry, cattle rustling, and weather extremes are aggravating the food insecurity. In 2006, Nigeria spent $2.85 billion US dollars on the importation of various food items. In 2013, it was $4.5 billion US dollars. All this are in table 2. And on June 24, 2014, the supervising minister of Niger Delta Affairs then, Architect Darius Ishaku, disclosed that Nigeria was spending 1.3 trillion annually on importation of food. The President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, in a speech on November 19, 2015, stated, and I quote him, "The 1 trillion naira food importation bill is no longer sustainable. With the global rise in food prices, the United Nations Food Security Information Note, FOSIN, showed that market tensions through price increases will be most acutely felt by vulnerable households, where difficulties in accessing cereals will lead to localized food security problems. Soil and food security. Globally, at the moment, soils provide food for approximately 7 billion people. Now, to provide food for 9 to 10 billion people, as has been predicted, that is by 2050. The physical, that is mainly soil characteristics, socioeconomic availability of food, as well as food productive capacity, must be significantly improved. And this was stated by FAO, ECA, and AUC 2020. Crucial is the capacity of the soils in the landscape to be adequate to meet the demands of the crops for high and sustainable yield. It is equally important that farmers worldwide are able to manage their soils sustainably and productively. Soil survey. Soil survey is the identification of the soils on a landscape based on their characteristics and the location of the extent of this separated by boundaries on the soil map. It is the systematic examination, description, classification, and mapping of soils in a given area. Soil surveys are classified according to the kind of intensity of field examination. It also involves writing and publishing information about soils for a specific area. It applies the principles of soil science, draws heavily from geomorphology, theories of soil formation, physical geography, and analysis of vegetation and land. Okay, I have 7 minutes, and let me squeeze everything. Yes, I better jump all the jargons about soil survey. Yes, I jump many things to necessity for detailed soil survey. I think we know all this. The ideal soil map has a purity score of 100%, in which every spot has the same characteristics as the typical profile after which the mapping unit is named. But this is impracticable due to the tremendous variability of soils in the landscape and constraint of scale, and also because it is not cost effective. However, the predictive value of a map or survey is directly correlated or proportional with the sampling intensity and the scale of mapping. That is with the assumption that it is done by the same surveyor. This underscores the need for Nigeria to possess a survey or map, a soil survey or map with high predictive value, that is, with the capacity to predict soil characteristics on the landscape more accurately than the existing semi-detailed soil survey. The predictive power of the existing semi-detailed of the USDA as the for most agricultural uses. For agriculture as power. That is, we soil solidly for accurate decisions between one agricultural use and the other. Soil fertility mapping is, I've said some things there. I move to the products of detailed soil survey fertility mapping include detailed soil map of Nigeria with soil series as mapping unit, soil suitability maps for major Nigerian crops, irrigation suitability and related maps, soil fertility maps for major essential nutrients. Urgency required. From the above analysis, detailed soil survey of the country is an investment that is to pay for itself. Although it is being of government, the nation has learned from the detailed survey. We have afford every landowner the knowledge of the type of soils on his land, their characteristics, use potential, management requirements, and the real value for alternative uses. It is the real foundation for genuine sustainable development of any nation. Therefore, no effort should be spared to ensure that the project is executed as soon as possible. The need for updating or revision will shortly arise with advancements in knowledge and science. This will occur from time to time, but not too frequently, if the project is executed properly by qualified professionals. The loss of prime agricultural land to non-agricultural uses, improvement in industrialization, youth employment, health, peace, reduction in conflict, and increase in our lifespan. I wish to congratulate the Federal Republic of Nigeria through the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development for this laudable step. I pray and wish that it becomes a reality. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Professor. Please, a round of applause for you. You can do better than that, please. A round of applause for you. Thank you very much, sir. For one time, we won't go into doing some highlights of this presentation. We recognize the Chairman, House Committee on Agriculture, Cultural Production and Services, Honorable Danduse Mutari. You're welcome, sir. Also recognize Dr. Andrew Pasari, SSAH, President on Agriculture. You're welcome. We also have President, Maize Association of Nigeria, Dr. Bello. You're welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, you see that time. So we are going to go into goodwill messages. I don't know if I should allot time. I think if I allot time, it will help because I have a lot of goodwill messages here. I think would 3 minutes be sufficient? I think please manage 3 minutes so that we can proceed to do other things. Thank you. Please, the representative of the Surveyor General, Surveyor Ahmad Mohammed, come from my activity. A round of applause for him.
The Chairman, sir, good morning. Please allow me to stand on the existing protocol already established. My name is Surveyor Muhammad Ahmad. I think as you have rightly said, I'm here to represent the Surveyor General of the Federation. So I'm reading his own goodwill message right now. I feel greatly honored to be invited to this workshop on National Soil and Soil Fertility Mapping Organization by the Department of Land and Climate Change Management Services on the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. The theme for the workshop, enhancing sustainable food security in Nigeria through the production of detailed soil survey and soil fertility maps. I strongly believe that the focal areas for discuss in this workshop will pull the right chords of position. So that might stimulate policies and programs capable for unlocking potential and the riches in our land. The importance of surveying and mapping cannot be overemphasized as veritable activities aim at achieving key forms of planning and implementation. The data generated from surveying can validate decisions in order to construct the desired socio-economic development. Permit me to inform you that OSGov is currently developing its climate change decision to assist in providing data that will encourage accurate prediction of the weather, among others. The use of the spatial information remains crucial and effective to carry out soil survey and fertility mapping. Hence, geometric attributes of soil sample location are integral in the implementation of soil information system in conjunction with all the geospatial data such as digital elevation model, land use cover map. It is also critical in delineation of and classification of soil types and production of resultant soil map. It is important to note that the role of survey and geoinformation in the planning stage of soil survey, data acquisition, and final soil map production cannot be overemphasized. These professionals are equipped with adequate knowledge and skill required for performing various spatial and statistical analysis, environmental modeling, and use of geospatial data to fulfill a solution of spatial problems to support information and decision making. National Soil Survey and Fertility Mapping of Nigeria is a step in the right direction. It is financed array of factors responsible for low crop yield, and poor implementation of the National Food Security Program. Let me add that the spatial information derivatives from the National Soil Survey and Fertility Mapping of Nigeria will in no small measure strengthen in general agricultural production. It will provide the basis for selecting suitable soil for clear understanding of types of management that might require soil to ensure high yield in farming. I therefore commend the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and management of the Ministry for giving me the opportunity and support for the workshop. The outcome of such workshop will definitely benefit the country in many ways, since the land is a major base for every resource and agriculture, a simple known to human survival. Our door at OSGOP is always open to render any support, any MTA if required. Thank you very much.
A round of applause to him again. Thank you. Please, Dr. Donald Madikwe, OCP Africa, come forward. Please, let's respect time. A round of applause to him. 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
Honorable Minister, represented by the Prime Secretary, I plead to hide under the existing protocols. My name is Donald Madukwe, the Senior Agronomist for OCP Africa in Nigeria. I bring you this goodwill message on behalf of my Deputy Managing Director, who is unavoidably absent this morning. OCP Africa is a Moroccan company that has come into Nigeria since 2016. And OCP is well committed to the development of agriculture in Nigeria and Africa. We were particularly happy when we got the invitation to participate in this workshop. We were happy because this is in line with the crusade we've been championing. OCP Africa is committed to ensuring that Nigerian farmers get value for their production, ensure that they collect and pay for nutrients required by their soils and their crops. And this is one of the importance of this workshop. We are committed to go beyond this soil survey and mapping. We are ready to work with the necessary arms of the government in Nigeria to develop digitized and automatized processes for nutrient recommendation. And this we are kicking off this year with the Nigeria Institute of Soil Science, and we have other intervention projects which are geared towards saving the soil. As this workshop continues, we will be available to contribute as much resources as we can to the realization of the purpose for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for making it snappy. Please, Dr. Aldo Grima, Gil and Melinda Gil, come forward for your goodwill message. Round of applause for him.
Good morning, Permanent Secretary, other distinguished guests. Permit me to also stand on existing protocols. I'm making this goodwill remarks on behalf of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. My colleagues in the Agriculture Department of the Foundation headquarters physically be here to attend this very important convention because we have a very thriving soil health and soil fertility team working around different regions and ecoregions in Africa, trying to do exactly what this convention is proposing to do, supporting home governments to develop capacity for soil health measurement and also capacity for developing very suitable fertilizer recommendations arising from the data, which will make work really evidence-based. We are very happy to be invited to make this opening goodwill messages because, in part, we supported and funded the Africa Soil Information Service, AFSIS, which was going to be done in 4 countries, including Nigeria. It took 4 years to implement. However, the Nigerian participation in the project came late. By the time our team mobilized and joined the process, already the other 3 countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, Rwanda have gone really far with digitalizing their soil resources and setting up a very active database for soil evaluation. But regardless, whatever Nigeria got out of it was quite instrumental. Some small funding to commence soil testing in Ebonyi and Kepi to inform future projections on soil mapping in Nigeria. We're a very vast country, and certainly you wouldn't be able to use only data from only 2 states to inform compelling analysis and recommendations. But it is not late. We have now, on the back of that project, created an opportunity for these digitalized solutions and opportunities to be available to African government as we speak. We have projects in Kenya and Rwanda where the government is saying we would like to update our soil maps and soil resources. We would like the digital aspects of getting soil data that informs planning, and the company that helped us to put together this support have now taken the opportunity to show them the hand-holding support and to develop the ecosystem for doing that. I have talked yesterday with the Director, Soil and Climate Change Department, and one of the lead specialists who is currently based in East Africa has asked for permission to do a demonstration to this conference, just for about 5 minutes in the afternoon, if time zones and other internet infrastructure allows, to see what is the promise of this digital technology and to hear the options of doing a huge physical soil mapping across Nigeria with the digitalized solutions and see whether you can have options for comparison. So I'm very happy that your organizers have agreed to this, and hopefully this afternoon you will hear and see a demonstration of what is possible. We are very excited that this is done because we have a seasonal situation that makes this exercise even more compelling. In Nigeria right now, nitrate fertilizer plants with investment worth $10 billion are already underway in our country. Some of the nitrate-based fertilizer that we produce cannot even be consumed by Nigerian farmers alone. It may have to be exported to West African regions. So this is a huge opportunity, in addition to, of course, about 18 new fertilizer blending plants that have sprung up across Nigeria, and there are more coming through as we speak. And perhaps what we should also celebrate is the fact that for the first time we now have a fertilizer quality and operation control law. This is something that has been fought for over 14 years, relentlessly by different donor partners and other organizations. And the National Assembly approved this, and the act was assented to by the president. It is now a law. So we have all the building blocks for a very viable soil management system in Nigeria with this capacity to regulate consumer control of consumption and other things. Because we've seen situations where people buy fertilizer that is branded with different elements, and then you go back to the farmer, it doesn't show the same result. So it's actually adulteration and cheating. And we are hoping that maybe with time, these kinds of exercises and infractions will lend themselves to adjudication in court of law, so that when people adulterate products, they can be punished. So this is just a goodwill message, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but we are very excited with this convening, and we believe that this is what the country needs, and we are here as technical support partner to support whatever efforts you decide to project for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We are going to go visual. Representative of ICRAF.
Thank you. Dear esteemed colleagues and participants, I am Lee Ann Winowicki, a dedicated soil scientist and leader of the World Agroforestry Soil and Land Health Research Team based here in Nairobi, Kenya. It is with great pleasure that I join this meeting, which aims to address such important and critical issues affecting landscapes and livelihoods across the globe, and to acknowledge this collaboration to jointly address these issues. Soil erosion, land degradation, and desertification affects over 60% of agricultural lands across sub-Saharan Africa, compounding the challenges of food and nutrition security. Unpredictable and unreliable climate further exacerbates these negative effects. Therefore, restoration of degraded soil is a key pathway to achieving food and nutrition security. By scaling locally appropriate soil management approaches that blend the innovative technologies that the previous speaker was just highlighting with traditional land management, we can contribute to climate change mitigation, adaptation, and biodiversity conservation while improving livelihoods in the long term. Key to this achievement is the collaboration and co-learning across scientific communities, governments, development partners, donors, of course the farmers, all of us here today, to develop and implement these technologies on the ground. In addition, it is imperative that we use the latest cutting-edge technologies for tracking and monitoring soil health in order to build the evidence base to help us better understand what technologies and approaches work where and for whom, and to be able to better target the next interventions and investments. At World Agroforestry eCraft, we have developed robust methodologies linking field surveys, soil spectroscopy, and remote sensing to monitor key soil health indicators over time. It is imperative that we as a community work together to further advance the science around soil health monitoring, including implementing and scaling soil spectroscopy as a key tool across Africa. We look forward to this continued collaboration with participants here and supporting your efforts so that together we can tackle these challenges. We also look forward to working together, getting our hands dirty to build and maintain soil, healthy soil, and maintaining functioning soil ecosystems. Thank you so much on behalf of World Agroforestry.
Thank you very much. At this point, we invite the Chairman of the Committee on Agriculture, Crop Production and Services, Honorable Dan Duse Motari, for his goodwill message. A round of applause for him, please.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the Chairman House Committee on Reproduction Senate, Dr. Abdullahi Adamu, the Permanent Secretary, all protocol duly and respectably observed. On behalf of the leadership of the National Assembly, I want to sincerely thank the movers of this very important workshop, which is timely and considering the fact of what is happening in this country. The productivity of our farms is declining all over the country. It is the government that is responsible based on the move made by the Federal Ministry of Agri to embark on this very important journey by bringing all the critical stakeholders together. I stand here to praise them for doing a very commendable job. And as a matter of fact, it is timely and it is very important, considering the fact of the situation we are generally in terms of global climate changes and the soil degradation. I want to use this opportunity to ensure that we as a house, with the collaboration of the critical stakeholders, will do everything. We are ready to support this very important program with law and backing them with funding from the budget to support the soil fertility mapping and the waste we are having in terms of food production in Nigeria is beyond expectation. And I believe, based on the comparative advantage we have in the 6 geopolitical zones of this country, if this program is followed duly and respectively done in a manner of comparative advantages we have, Nigeria is blessed. We have all the potentiality to feed Africa and feed Nigeria. So I urge the critical stakeholders to use this opportunity to support this very important program. And we are here to honor our able leadership of the Senate Chairman and the leadership of the National Assembly to support this very important program. Thank you. God bless Federal Ministry of Agriculture and God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. I will at this point call on the Chairman, Senate Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development, His Excellency Senator Dr. Abdullahi Adamu, COA, to come forward for his goodwill message. A round of applause for this. Please keep clapping until he gets here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Right Honorable Chairman, the House Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development, my colleague, the Honorable Minister Sustainable Development, clearly represented by the permanent secretary. Very distinguished resource persons, honored to have received an invitation to come, attend, and give a goodwill message. I do not want to further the workshop because most of what one would ordinarily wish to say has been very heavily stated by speakers before me. I had an old professor of soil science, the late, and the gentleman here, in OCP Africa, yes. There is hardly a thing for me to add, except to say as a lawmaker, that I am, and as a farmer, that I'm very, very concerned with the state of affairs in regards information data available to the Nigerian farmer or our parents, the peasant smallholder farmers. The information available to them or to us also very negligible, if at all. I remember sometimes, I think in the year 2016 or 2017, this ministry came up with what they said was a a map on soil fertility in Nigeria, if I recollect correctly. And I don't know where those maps are now. But what I remember is there was huge controversy as to the authenticity of the information contained in that map that was supposed to have been circulated to farmers. I believe very strongly that, like Professor said, some countries in Africa, including Ghana, or from the examples we gave, the leading country, so to say, Ghana, in terms of soil science. Yeah, I don't remember the date he said he was in Ghana, but Ghana had the soil survey and fertility map. So years, maybe a decade or so back. Sometimes I feel ashamed when I face an audience to say that we are not there. We are not there. And if you are talking of men and women of letters in soil science, Nigeria is probably leading in numerical terms. But how come we are where we are with a very, very important information or data that the farmer requires in regard to the soil that he depends on for his production? We have been attending workshops, and most of the reports are ready. If you go, I give an assignment, go to the museum and see how many reports, proposals made that have not seen the light of day. We should volunteer some effort to talk trace to those of us who are privileged where we are. There is also a report advising that so things should be done since also year, and nothing has been done. If you can volunteer this, please move. If you don't volunteer that, you can rest assured we'll be doing other exercise activities, may God forbid. I remember sometimes in 2017, we passed the bill on the soil science, soil science institute of soil scientists. The president assented to it. We also passed another bill on fertilizer quality control. The president assented to it. I don't know how much of it has been applied. When it was launched by the ministry, I attended. When it was launched, I attended, but I don't know how much compliance there has been. So my appeal here is, we can help a lot. Sometimes we presume that once these reports are made, they reach the highest authority for implementation. You'd be surprised often these reports don't reach where they should reach, and therefore there's no action on them. To conclude, I want to also appeal to you as professionals, because I guess, apart from people like me, a politician, a farmer, most of you here are soil scientists. That's my guess, or surveyors. There is something that is happening, and that is making our position of being very, very, very well behind in some of these areas of interest. Is the fact that we have a National Assembly. Our duty is to make laws for the good governance of this great country. But you don't sit as a member of parliament and just imagine a law and just create it or make it. Those who are in different corners in the country owe themselves a duty to lobby. So area is a problem of this sector. So area is the problem of our professional body. We can't achieve this without doing that. You come up, the assembly, the parliament is yours. And we don't do it here. Even when budgets have been considered, you don't see lobby. Go to America, go to the United Kingdom, go to France, go to Germany. When budgets have been made, see how people are kneeling up and down the corridors of parliament. You don't see that here. You should take your interest, not to be selfish about it, is to make a law, to make possible the attainment of certain goals, that those who are in authority are compelled by the law to do certain things in certain ways. You have to help, you have to stand up and be counted in making your contributions towards the making of an excellent law for the governance of this country. Thank you so much.
Another round of applause for the Senator. Thank you very much, sir. Permanent Secretary, with your permission, sir, I would like to call the representative of FAO to come and give their goodwill message. They came in a bit late. So with your permission, sir. Thank you very much. And a round of applause for the campus, Madam Secretary. The representative of FAO, Dr. A. Awonmeka, please come forward with a goodwill message. Is here, I can see one. Please, a round of applause for you. Thank you. That is here just to create the occasion. Thank you very much. Now is the time for keynote address by the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Mohammed Sabo Manuru, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. N.S.A. Omahihi. Finally, the ball is here in his court. Sir, you're welcome. A round of applause for you. Keep clapping until you get here. Thank you very much.
Yes, we are not happy that you can't even pronounce our names. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Dr. Abdullah Adamu, DON, the Chairman House Committee on Agricultural Production and Services, the Right Honorable Kandus Mutari, Chief Executives of agencies and their reps present on the high table, the Directors of various MBA and the Ministry of Agriculture, representatives of development partners, guest lecturer, Professor Ayo Ogukule, a man I've known over 25 years, the suspects and participants, gentlemen of the press, all stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. The voice you are hearing is mine, but this is a speech by the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Mohammed Sabo Nanunu, who is unavoidably absent because he missed his flight this morning. He would have been here. So I'm representing him as the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this occasion, marking the opening of the National Soil Survey and Soil Fertility Mapping Workshop, organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. This workshop is one of the activities preceding the commencement of nationwide soil survey and soil fertility mapping. Soil survey and soil fertility mapping are part of the new initiatives the ministry is using to chart the way forward to ensure sustainable utilization of the nation's land resources. The theme of the workshop, that is enhancing food security in Nigeria through the production of detailed soil survey and soil fertility maps, was carefully chosen to reflect the significance of a comprehensive soil information database in our drive towards attaining food self-sufficiency through food self-sufficiency. Through this workshop, the ministry hopes to define a roadmap for Nigeria's soil information system. On assumption of office as the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, I was briefed on the progress made with respect to soil survey and soil information database in the country. The previous national effort on soil inventarization was carried out in the 1980s at reconnaissance level using a scale of 1 to 650,000, which has been found obsolete and inexpedient for the much desired rapid agricultural transformation. We have realized over time that the country needs detailed soil survey and soil fertility maps that are necessary if we are to understand the best ways of evaluating the potentials of our soil for agricultural production. Maps generated from such surveys will be of immense benefit to our farming communities and land use planners. Soil surveys are of high priority in the development plans of many countries because of the obvious advantages of soil classification and mapping in making land management decisions. A soil map has little value unless the information in it is used in farming and other land use planning activities. Therefore, the soil maps that will result from the proposed survey must serve practical purposes. Distinguished resource persons and participants, this workshop is expected to focus on current methodologies in digital soil mapping used in the production of detailed soil survey and soil fertility maps. These maps are expected to assist farmers so that they can obtain basic information on soil fertility status that is required for informed decisions on the type and rate of fertilizer to be applied, in addition to the method and time of application. It will lead to a major shift from a blanket general fertilizer recommendation approach that can no longer be relied upon to boost food production in the country significantly. The focus of the ministry is the promotion of site-specific fertilizer application techniques and blending of crop-specific inorganic fertilizer materials. Detailed soil survey and soil fertility maps will be required to actualize this goal. Our soil scientists have identified various limiting constraints in our soils, which are important factors contributing to low crop yields in Nigeria. We have to take a step further by determining the specific locations and distribution of these limiting factors so that site-specific decisions can be made to address these constraints. This is why over the years we have been applying fertilizers without taking cognizance of the nutrient status of the soil, which have widely varied physical and chemical properties. This approach has adversely affected our soil in many parts of the country and have resulted in loss of previously productive arable land due to depletion of plant nutrients. We cannot afford to allow this situation to continue. I believe this workshop is the right step towards addressing the problem. The world is in the age of precision agriculture, which ensures accurate delivery and optimal use of production inputs based on identified need. We cannot afford to lag behind. Government is more than ready to help our farmers in the management and use of our soil resources. We have noted that farmers do not pay adequate attention to land and soil management. The soil is exploited every cropping season without commensurate plans that would ensure optimal nutrient replenishment. Our rapidly growing population that imposes a lot of pressure on soil resources and productivity further attests to the need to ensure improvement in the way we use our soils. These problems will be addressed sufficiently once we produce detailed soil survey and soil fertility maps for the country. It is a known fact that knowledge about the condition and strength of Nigeria's soils are fragmented, and there is need for accurate, up-to-date, and specially referenced soil information to support our agricultural productivity enhancement programs. For this purpose, the 4 national soil and water laboratories in Ibadan, Umudike, Kaduna, and Abuja have been rehabilitated. The laboratories will be used to conduct the soil test and an analysis on the National Soil Survey. I have also approved the upgrading of the 4 laboratories with modern laboratory equipment to the standard of the International Center for Research in Agroforestry. That the data generated from the National Survey will be accepted internationally. In addition, the technology and procedures to be adopted for the conduct of the soil survey and soil fertility mapping generated will not lose its usefulness as technology advances. I call on our development partners and donor agencies like FAO, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, AFDC, OCP Africa, and USAID to provide technical assistance and support for surveyors and other professionals in order to facilitate the process of conducting nationwide soil survey and production of digital soil fertility maps for the country. I wish to conclude my address by stating that it's important that we continue to build synergy in the nation's agricultural sector so that we can fast-track the attainment of the much desired food security for our teeming population. We need to do away with the hitherto blanket approach to fertilizer application across locations with widely differing soil boundaries, a situation that has resulted in extensive soil degradation in different parts of the country. We definitely have to improve our soil management practices for the benefit of our farmers and enhancement of Nigeria's food security. I thank you all for your attention. MC, your podium is not user-friendly.
Thank you very much, sir. Apologies if I have murdered your name. I promise next time I'll pronounce it very well. I'm going to go back to the classroom to learn how to pronounce it. Thank you very much, sir. At this point, I'm going to invite for a vote of thanks, Director, the Primary Agricultural Land and Climate Change Management Services, Engineer Shehu Bello, MNI, for a vote of thanks. Sir.
Our time is far gone, so I will not go into too much protocols. But much has been said that we need to give good vote of thanks, but I will not take too much of time. Your Excellency, distinguished Senator Abdullah Adamu, Chairman of the Committee on Agriculture, and House Committee Chairman on Agricultural Services, I must thank you first because you provided funds for us in the 2021 budget to commence this survey. But I must say, sir, when we are starting a survey, we do not know how long it will take us to complete this survey. The country is large, and we intend to do a survey that will stand the test of time, and will use all available technologies that are cost-effective for us to do this survey. You will see that we have our international partners joining us from outside the country. So what I'm saying, in effect, sir, in 2022 or even 2023, we will not mind if you give us more funds to complete this survey. To the Honorable Minister, sir, ably represented, you have given us the push. You have supported us through the Permanent Secretary to commence this journey. I will promise to do a very good job, produce a soil map of the country. The people in the 1980s, we felt they should be around when we are revalidating what they have done to convert it to digital soil map. That was why we put all of them together and get a good location for them to brainstorm and produce a very good. So carry the